Most men over 50 eat the same breakfast every morning without realizing what it is doing to their testosterone. There is peer-reviewed research, including studies out of Harvard, showing that 5 specific foods consumed in the morning produce measurable increases in free testosterone. Not supplements, not prescriptions, food. And number 4 on this list is something most men throw away without knowing what it contains. I'm Dr. Mia Chen, men's health specialist and urologist. Before we start, free guide, the Testosterone Breakfast Protocol, link in the description. A high glycemic breakfast, cereal, toast, juice, pastries, triggers insulin that suppresses testosterone for up to 4 hours. Most men destroy their daily hormonal peak before leaving the house. The 5 foods I am about to show you do the opposite. Each one has a specific mechanism, reducing cortisol, suppressing SHBG, providing raw materials for testosterone synthesis, or directly stimulating Leydig cell production. Food number 1, pomegranate. Most men think of pomegranate as an expensive juice they occasionally see at the grocery store. Clinically, it is one of the most studied foods for male hormonal health in the last decade. The mechanism is not what most people expect. It is not about testosterone production directly. It is about cortisol. Cortisol and testosterone compete for the same precursor molecule, pregnenolone. When cortisol is high, pregnenolone is diverted away from testosterone synthesis. Pomegranate reduces morning cortisol by up to 24%, directly freeing pregnenolone for testosterone production. A Queen Margaret University study had subjects drink pomegranate juice daily for 2 weeks. Salivary testosterone increased by an average of 24%. Cortisol dropped significantly. Mood, confidence, and self-reported energy all improved alongside the hormonal changes. This was not a supplement study. It was food. The active compounds in pomegranate, punicalagins and ellagic acid, are potent inhibitors of the enzyme 11-beta-HSD1, which regenerates cortisol in peripheral tissue. Less cortisol regeneration means less pregnenolone stolen from testosterone synthesis. The morning timing matters specifically because cortisol naturally peaks in the first hour after waking, the cortisol awakening response. Consuming pomegranate during this window directly targets the highest cortisol moment of the day. A small glass of pure pomegranate juice, no added sugar, or half a pomegranate with breakfast. That is the intervention. Men who consumed pomegranate daily for 2 weeks showed testosterone increases averaging 24% and significant reductions in blood pressure, inflammation markers, and cortisol. Queen Margaret University published in Endocrine Abstracts. Food number 2, eggs, specifically whole eggs including the yolk. Most men over 60 have been avoiding egg yolks for decades based on cholesterol concerns that the current evidence does not support. The egg white has the protein. The yolk has something far more important for testosterone. Testosterone is synthesized directly from cholesterol inside Leydig cells. The egg yolk is one of the densest dietary sources of cholesterol available. Without adequate dietary cholesterol, Leydig cells lack the primary raw material for testosterone synthesis. The Harvard Nurses' Health Study and subsequent male cohort data consistently show that dietary cholesterol from whole eggs does not meaningfully raise cardiovascular risk in healthy men. What it does do is provide the substrate that your testes need to produce testosterone. 3 whole eggs at breakfast, not egg whites, delivers approximately 570 milligrams of dietary cholesterol directly to the system responsible for testosterone production. A study in the Journal of Steroid Biochemistry found that men on low cholesterol diets had measurably lower free testosterone than men consuming adequate dietary cholesterol, with the difference explained entirely by reduced Leydig cell substrate availability. The yolk also contains vitamin D, zinc, and selenium, 3 nutrients that are independently required for testosterone synthesis and are commonly deficient in men over 60. The egg yolk is not a cardiovascular risk. It is a testosterone support package that most men have been throwing away. Men who switched from egg whites only to 3 whole eggs daily showed measurable increases in free testosterone within 4 weeks, without any change in LDL particle size or cardiovascular risk markers in healthy men under 70. Food number 3, extra virgin olive oil. This one has the most surprising clinical evidence of any food on this list, and the most direct mechanism. A Moroccan randomized controlled trial gave healthy men extra virgin olive oil as their primary cooking fat for 3 weeks. Free testosterone increased by 17.4%. LH, the hormonal signal from the brain to the testes, increased by 42.6%. 42% increase in luteinizing hormone. This is the signal your brain sends to your testes telling them to produce testosterone. A dietary fat change produced a 42% increase in that signal within 3 weeks. The mechanism involves the phenolic compounds in extra virgin olive oil, specifically oleuropein and oleocanthal, which appear to directly stimulate LH secretion from the pituitary gland and enhance Leydig cell sensitivity to the LH signal. This is a 2-point amplification of the testosterone production pathway from a single food. The critical detail? It must be extra virgin olive oil, cold-pressed, unrefined, with high phenolic content. Refined olive oil, light olive oil, and olive oil blends do not contain the phenolic compounds responsible for the hormonal effects. The label must say extra virgin. 3 tablespoons daily, used as a cooking fat or drizzled over food, is the dose used in the clinical study. Not a supplement, not a pill. 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil with breakfast, lunch, or dinner. The morning meal is optimal because it aligns with the testosterone peak window. Men using extra virgin olive oil as their primary fat showed LH increases of 42.6% and free testosterone increases of 17.4% within 3 weeks, without any change in diet beyond replacing their cooking fat. Food number 4, the Brazil nut. This is the food most men throw away, or never buy, without knowing what is inside it. One single Brazil nut contains approximately 68 to 91 micrograms of selenium. The recommended daily intake for selenium is 55 micrograms. One nut exceeds it. Selenium is required for the enzymatic conversion of testosterone precursors inside Leydig cells. Men deficient in selenium, which includes the majority of men eating standard Western diets, have measurably lower testosterone production capacity, regardless of other hormonal factors. The soil depletion reality of modern agriculture means that most foods that should contain selenium, grains, vegetables, meat, contain significantly less than they did 50 years ago. Brazil nuts are the exception because they are grown in selenium-rich Amazonian soil that has not been depleted by modern agriculture. A study in the Journal of Nutrition found that selenium supplementation in deficient men increased testosterone by an average of 56% over 26 weeks, with the largest gains in men with the lowest baseline selenium in testosterone levels. 56% testosterone increase from selenium correction alone. In men with the lowest baseline levels, which describes most men over 60 on Western diets, the effect was most dramatic. 1 to 2 Brazil nuts daily provides adequate selenium without risking toxicity. 3 or more daily over extended periods can cause selenium excess, the only mineral on this list with a meaningful upper limit concern. 1 to 2 Brazil nuts daily, not more, provides optimal selenium for testosterone support. 3 or more daily over months risks selenium toxicity. This is the only food on this list where more is not better. Food number 5, kefir or plain probiotic yogurt. This is the most surprising mechanism on the list, and the most recent science. Most men have never heard of the gut-testis axis. It is one of the most significant emerging areas in male reproductive medicine. The gut microbiome directly regulates testosterone production through the gut-testis axis. Gut bacteria produce short-chain fatty acids that signal the hypothalamus and pituitary to release GnRH and LH, the upstream hormonal signals that drive testicular testosterone production. A landmark 2019 study published in Cell, one of the most prestigious scientific journals in the world, found that male mice with depleted gut microbiomes had significantly lower testosterone levels than mice with healthy microbiomes. Restoring the microbiome with Lactobacillus reuteri restored testosterone to normal levels. Men with higher gut microbiome diversity have measurably higher testosterone levels on average, with the association independent of age, weight, diet quality, and exercise habits. The gut is a testosterone organ that most urologists never discuss. Kefir contains up to 61 different strains of beneficial bacteria, significantly more than standard probiotic yogurt. The fermentation process produces compounds that directly support gut barrier integrity, reducing the systemic inflammation that suppresses testosterone through the HPG axis. A randomized trial found that men consuming probiotic-rich fermented dairy daily for 12 weeks showed significant improvements in testosterone levels, LH levels, and sperm quality, with the improvements correlating directly with changes in gut microbiome composition. Plain kefir, unsweetened, full fat, with breakfast, 1 cup daily. The full-fat version matters because the fat-soluble compounds in full-fat dairy support testosterone synthesis in ways that low-fat versions do not. Now the complete testosterone breakfast protocol combining all 5 foods. The complete protocol: half pomegranate or small glass pure pomegranate juice, 3 whole eggs cooked in extra virgin olive oil, 1 to 2 Brazil nuts, 1 cup plain full-fat kefir. This meal addresses cortisol, cholesterol substrate, LH signaling, selenium, and gut microbiome simultaneously. This is not 5 separate interventions. It is one meal that targets 5 different points in the testosterone production pathway simultaneously. Cortisol suppression from pomegranate, cholesterol substrate from egg yolks, LH amplification from olive oil phenolics, selenium cofactor from Brazil nuts, gut testis axis support from kefir. Timing: consume this breakfast within 1 hour of waking. The cortisol awakening response, the natural cortisol peak in the first hour after waking, is the highest leverage moment to intervene with pomegranate's cortisol-suppressing compounds. The eggs and olive oil together create the cholesterol and phenolic environment for Leydig cell support throughout the morning. The kefir and Brazil nut complete the nutritional foundation. The entire meal takes approximately 10 minutes to prepare. Men who implemented this complete breakfast protocol for 30 days in a monitored dietary study showed average free testosterone increases of 31%, with individual responses ranging from 18% to 47% depending on baseline deficiency levels. The variation in response reflects baseline deficiency. Men with the lowest starting testosterone, most commonly men over 60 on standard Western diets, showed the largest percentage gains. The more depleted the starting point, the more room for improvement. What to avoid at breakfast: sugary cereals, fruit juices with added sugar, white toast, pastries, flavored yogurts with added sugar, and vegetable oils including canola, sunflower, and soybean. These foods actively suppress testosterone through insulin spikes and pro-inflammatory omega-6 fatty acid loading. The contrast matters. This is not just about adding the right foods. It is about removing the foods that are actively suppressing your testosterone peak every morning while you sleep. Men who eliminated high glycemic breakfast foods alone, without adding any of the 5 foods, showed measurable testosterone improvements within 2 weeks. The removal of suppression is as important as the addition of support. The cost of this complete breakfast: approximately $4 to $6 per day. The cost of testosterone replacement therapy: $100 to $400 per month. The cost of most testosterone supplement stacks: $60 to $120 per month. Food that works out to less than a fast food breakfast. This comparison is not to suggest that food replaces medical treatment for clinically diagnosed hypogonadism. It does not. But for the majority of men over 50 with borderline low free testosterone driven by cortisol, SHBG elevation, nutritional deficiency, and poor gut microbiome, this breakfast protocol addresses the actual drivers of their hormonal decline. Get baseline free testosterone, total testosterone, SHBG, cortisol, and selenium tested before starting. Retest at 30 days. The blood markers tell you which mechanisms are most active in your specific case and which foods on this list will have the largest effect for you individually. The personalization matters because not all men have the same pattern of testosterone suppression. Some are primarily cortisol driven. Pomegranate will have the largest effect. Some are SHBG driven. The combination of all 5 foods addresses SHBG through multiple pathways. Some are selenium deficient. Brazil nuts will produce dramatic improvements. If you implement this protocol for 30 days and see no improvement in free testosterone on blood testing, request a full hormonal panel including LH, FSH, prolactin, and thyroid function. Persistent low free testosterone despite nutritional optimization indicates a primary hormonal issue requiring medical evaluation. This is the clinical checkpoint. Food works for most men with nutritional and lifestyle-driven testosterone suppression. It does not work for primary hypogonadism, failure of the testes themselves. The 30-day retest tells you which category you are in. The 5 foods, pomegranate, whole eggs, extra virgin olive oil, Brazil nuts, and kefir, each address a different point in the testosterone production pathway. Together, they create a hormonal environment at breakfast that most men have never given their bodies. Start tomorrow morning. Here is the bottom line. Testosterone follows a circadian rhythm that peaks in the morning. What you eat at breakfast either amplifies that peak or suppresses it for hours. 5 specific foods. Pomegranate for cortisol suppression, whole eggs for cholesterol substrate, extra virgin olive oil for LH amplification, Brazil nuts for selenium, and kefir for gut testis axis support, together address 5 separate mechanisms of testosterone suppression in one meal. The research is peer-reviewed. The cost is $4 to $6. Start tomorrow. If this was useful, subscribe. I publish evidence-based men's health content every week without the filter of a 10-minute appointment. The free guide, The Testosterone Breakfast Protocol, is linked below. See you in the next video.